Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. In this week's program, police stall investigation of landlord who chops arms off child in Punjab, Pakistan. Nepal's AHRC couple have fasted for 280 days, demanding justice for murdered son. Kerala's State Legislative Assembly hostel, a safe haven for criminals. Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. I'm Natalie Yang. Police in the Punjab province of Pakistan failed to launch an investigation into a landlord who chopped off the arms of a 10-year-old boy until the media picked up the story. The landlord chopped off both of the arms of Tabassum Shahzad over a minor issue, his father's payment of electricity bills. The boy's hands were tied together and forced into a harvesting machine. The boy's condition was serious, but for 2 days hospital staff ignored him, and the police protected the landlord, refusing to register a case for 3 days. In desperation, the family contacted a media outlet, AHRC TV channel, which immediately gave the story hours of extensive coverage. As a result, the chief minister of the province issued a press release, saying that he had taken serious notice of the incident and had ordered the authorities to provide the best medical treatment to the child. Soon after, the entire government machinery cranked into action. Senior medical officers rushed to the ward, inspected the child, and released a medical report they had previously refused to provide. They also provide all necessary medicine, which the poor family had so far been forced to pay for, and the child was transferred to a ward with electricity. As the news spread throughout the country about the dysfunctional rule of law in the country and the negligence of Punjab's police, senior police officers visited the child and his parents in hospital. In Pakistan, the rich and powerful know how to manipulate the law to their favor and escape prosecution. It was very rare that such people are punished according to the law, even for very serious crimes. For more on this story and the lack of proper police system in Pakistan, AHRC's Basil Fernando spoke to Basir Nawid, senior researcher at the AHRC.
Bashir, could you briefly explain how this 10-year-old boy Tabassum's hands came to be severed from both hands over some very small incident?
Yes, it was a very petty issue of some money for the payment of electricity bill. This incident happened on the 21st July in a Gujranwala city of Punjab that is not far away from Lahore, where the chief minister sits. And this happened when there was some kind of dispute between this landlord and this poor persons, the father of the Tabassum. And on that day of incident, the boy went to the field, and that landlord, his name is Ghulam Mustafa, he asked him to come closer, and then when that boy went over there, he tied his both hands and poured the hot water on his body and hands and on the face. And that child of 10 years old was crying. So he became more angry because this is a sadistic attitude of that landlord. He thrown this child on the running belt of that wheat husking machine. Whole night he was there, the boy was there, and it was not treated properly. And all the time hospital authorities were asking money. So they took the child to a public hospital, where even those doctors who are supposed to provide the medical treatment to everybody have refused to attend. And only nurses or the paramedical staff were available, and on the that force from the parents, they did only dressing.
So virtually getting some medical treatment even on such a huge emergency depends on money.
Money.
How much you can pay.
Yes.
And the poor people can't pay this.
Yes, because this is the dilemma of
Okay, then now what happened from the part of the police and from justice?
Because that when child came into his consciousness, he told the whole story, and parents went to police station to file a case against that landlord, and police refused. Police said that, oh, we will file after investigation. And police took 3 days to file a case. When one television channel, that ARY News, has taken this story, and one uncle of the boy told that when finding, the uncle did not find any way to get the treatment, so he reported to a news channel. And channel, when aired of this one, so then police and authorities, all they just became very active.
So only due to publicity he was arrested, and he is still under arrest.
So, yes, publicity and the actually that the negligence of that police and authorities, when that negligence was exposed, then they have to do. Otherwise, they were not doing.
So after their negligence was exposed, they arrested him.
Yes.
So he's still under arrest.
Yes,
Now, will do the parents believe that now the justice will be done?
No, they don't, because they see that in the police lockup that man, the perpetrator, is enjoying all comforts and no worry on his face, because he knows and he is saying it is no problem, after 2-3 months I will be out of jail. And this person has not been sent to jail even. It is in the police station. And these poor people think that there is no question of any justice.
So virtually the landlords are the powerful people in these areas.
Yes.
So they virtually manipulate whatever that can be done in the police or courts.
These people are not afraid of law, because the law does not exist anymore. Law is there, but its function is not existing. And this landlord is not so big landlord, but he is a landlord, and he is richer, more richer than the poor people.
So the power in the area is in the hands of landlords.
Landlords are powerful people.
Yeah. And then when they know that whatever they do, they will have impunity.
Yes, of course.
So it's the fact of their having impunity that make him possible to do even this kind of act.
Yes, that they know, and they know how to maneuver the law, because that law can be maneuvered through the law enforcement agencies. And when law enforcement agencies are bribed or forced, they can do whatever they want, because there is no accountability on the law enforcement agencies.
So the government's authority over the landlords doesn't work. Because the legal system, the criminal justice system, doesn't work in these areas. And the government has not done anything to ensure that the writ of the state, the power of the state, is used to protect the people.
Yes.
So as a result, you can do this kind of thing and get away. So that the demand by the human rights community and the international community must be for the improvement and of a functional criminal justice system.
Yes, of course.
Till that happens, this kind of things will happen almost as daily events.
In Nepal, the fastened to death hunger strike of Nanda Prasad and Gaya Maya Adhikari, better known as the Adhikari couple, had reached 280 days and counting. Their only demand is an investigation and prosecution of those who murdered their son, Krishna Prasad Adhikari. In other words, they demand justice. Earlier, AHRC TV interviewed Mandira Sharma, lawyer and chairperson of the Advocacy Forum.
The Adhikari couple had been fasting for more than 280 days now. Their conditions is very critical. For last 10 years, they went to different institutions demanding for justice. But they did not see any hope, because they found that there was no interest from the government to do thorough investigations in the killing of their son. Rather, they found out that the perpetrators were protected by the state. So they did not see any hope, but then go to hunger strike in demand, in quest for justice. If they die, because of the failure of the state to do investigations and to protect their lives. It is the responsibility of the government. If government of Nepal is not capable of doing credible investigations with due diligence, I think it is the responsibility of the government to call for an international investigations. Civil society organizations, human rights activists in the country have been calling for international investigations in this case. We really would like to appeal donors who support Nepalese government to also take steps in saving the lives of this couple. It is the responsibility of the state to ensure that these people are alive and they are provided justice for the murder of their son.
To give us some more insight into the story, AHRC TV has invited Prakash Mahara, Program Officer at AHRC, to the studio. Welcome, Prakash.
Thank you.
Can you tell us more about this case?
What happened was Krishna Prasad Adhikari, who was just 16 years old, was visiting his grandparents in Chitwan, but the Maoists, they just branded him as a spy and dragged him to a motorcycle and shot him dead. But his parents, they filed a case at the Chitwan police station, but nothing has happened. The state, they have maintained their silence.
So what is the condition of the parents?
Now the hunger strike had entered into 280 days, so the condition is stable, but they are really skinny and they would frail. So what happened? And according to the doctors, like they can give up any time. They can have like multiple organ fails.
What should be done now?
Basically, now the government should start an investigation and prosecution for the perpetrators. But the government is not interested at all. The district court Chitwan have identified the culprit, one of the culprit who is now in Northern Ireland. But they should start the process of extradition, but it is not doing. And most importantly, what should be done is they should save the lives of the couple. So that should be most priority at the moment.
Criminals contesting elections and sitting in parliament and state legislative houses is not news in Indian context. However, what police investigation have revealed in Kerala this week speaks to a related concern: how elected representatives protect criminals. Earlier this week, the Kerala State Police arrested Mr. Jaya Chandran, a suspect in human trafficking and blackmailing syndicate, from the MLA hostel in the state capital, Tiruvananthapuram. The Member of State Legislative Assembly Hostel, or MLA hostel, is a government facility that houses MLAs near the State Legislative Assembly. Rooms and guest houses are allotted to an MLA upon written approval from the Speaker of the Legislative House. The accused, Jaya Chandran, stayed in the MLA hostel for 16 days while the state police was trying to execute an arrest warrant against him. A former MLA, Mr. Sharath Chandra Prasad, had preserved a room for Jaya Chandran. The MLA hostel, one of the power centers in the state, is immune from police raids and searches, since the occupants are often the most powerful persons in the state politics. This is why Jaya Chandran thought staying in the MLA hostel was safe. Unfortunately, when the state police narrowed down a search based on mobile communications made by the suspect, they pinpointed the suspect to the MLA hostel from where the suspect was arrested. The arrest had led to further revelations, suggesting the Jaya Chandran incident not unique. It had been revealed that on surface occasion in the past, the MLA hostel has been a safe abode for criminals, often those who attacked and murdered political rivals. The State Legislative Assembly Speaker has promised that his office will from now on ensure that the hostel will no longer be a safe place for escorting criminals. That is all for this week's Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. For more information, log on to www.humanrights.asia. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.